The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand, who is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away. And the wolf snatches them and scatters them. The hired hand runs away because the hired hand does not care for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, my own know me, and I know the Father. I am in a beautiful small town, a small town that cares for each other, a small town that struggles and suffers because of the economic conditions, but that comes together and supports each other and loves each other, and that we can do even more of that if we work together. And I think that that's part of what has been happening in this town. We're part of the STEP community, the small town economic program, and we're looking to improve things in the town so that folks are proud of the place that they live and they feel like there's a connection between them and the government of the town and just neighbors in general. I think that to me is one of the things that I want people to take away from this, is that we do care, whether it's in death or in life, or down at Martha's having fellowship together, or at Sherry's having a meal, that we do care, and you see that in the people here, and that we could come together even more than we are now and reach out and take care of each other. For the Star Church, I was the very first female pastor, and I think there might have been some concern because I knew when I came in, the chair of my pastor parish committee, he says, now you need to understand, not everybody's excited about this because you're a woman. I said, well, I'm older and I have faced some of these things before, so it's not going to hurt my feelings if somebody doesn't feel like a woman should be in the pulpit. I said, now we'll just have to disagree. My transition into this congregation was probably about as smooth as it could be. They were welcoming, and even the ones that really were not too terribly sure about a woman pastor, they have come to love me, and I have come to love and respect them. It's been interesting. As far as our outreach, I feel like, in particular, we have an outreach here to the Star community within the city limits, but not limited to the city limits. This church, I think one of their passions is feeding the hungry. And if you saw the sign as you came in out front, we served at the food pantry this past Saturday. And we take our rotation among, 12 churches. I don't know how many we've got that actually serve, and we take our Saturdays to serve at the food pantry. We got over there Saturday, and there was always a list to tell us what to give out based on what is in the pantry. There was almost nothing to give out, and it just upset us so bad that the folks came back and they said, we've got to do something. We've got to restock the shelves. So we've got a sign out here to take donations for the food pantry. Bring us your canned foods. Just about anybody, not everybody, but just about anybody could bring a can and put in the bin. So over this next week or two, we're hoping to get enough food to put back into the food pantry so that maybe this Saturday the church that serves won't come into empty shelves. Early let us seek thy favor. Early let us do thy will. Blessed Lord and only Savior. I believe if we go back out to the front porch, we'll see that it was actually founded in about 1865 or 1885. Give me a little leeway there. And it was not on this location, it was down the road a ways. And at some point, they built this particular building. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a whole lot about the old history of this church. Most of these families have been here for a long, long time. It's like, your family lives in the area, they help found the church somewhere along the line, and they come together, and this is where they stay. This church does date way back way back, and you can see by the setup here that it's not a new situation. It's not your modern, contemporary type church. It's got a lot of history. The windows have been donated by different people, different families. The Schambergers, I believe, were the ones that helped actually found this church, and it has moved from there. The chapel with the stained glass window is my favorite place. Like I said, we meet in there every Wednesday night for prayer, and we light the candles. And I noticed last week, since the time has lengthened and the light comes through that window, with the candles sitting in front of the window, I've got to go get my camera and take a picture. But to me, that is the most beautiful place we've got in the church. The bell, now the kids, the adults here could tell you stories about the bell. And what was it, a few weeks ago, we had somebody out there pulling on the rope and rang the bell. But I have one young man, he says, yeah, I can remember the Sunday we got out there and we flipped the bell up and couldn't get it back down. Got in big trouble, big trouble. Just lots of stories like that. One of the biggest blessings that I've seen here, last fall we did what they call Second Harvest Mobile Food Pantry. We call the Council on Aging, or one of the social services offices. We worked through this gentleman, and he got us a mobile food pantry truck up here, and for $300 we get a truck full of food. One of these Pepsi Cola roll up the side type trucks. We did that once in the fall, so we did it again this spring. And what we found, the true blessing here, was not only that so many people were fed, but the people that got the food took their food to their car, and then they turned around and came back and helped package food for those that were still waiting. So it was one of those community things that we reached out, and then it affected others, and they came back to serve also. So it was sort of a surprise, but it was a wonderful surprise. 3 adults and 1 nursery, younger age children's Sunday school. And what we've decided is that we need to look at small group activity to address needs and concerns of those in the congregation, and maybe they don't necessarily meet on a Sunday morning. Maybe they meet on a Saturday night, or at lunch during the week, or first thing in the morning, and we're starting to fan out in that direction. We have a choir that meets on a weekly basis. We don't always sing every Sunday, but we always have something prepared for like Easter and Christmas and some of the big special occasions, and we're trying to sing more often. The first time we got the food pantry truck, we were a little disappointed. We had expected a little bit different variety on the truck, and what we got was potatoes. We got mashed potatoes, we got sweet potatoes, we got tater tots, we got French fries. We got taters. There were taters everywhere. And one of our members is a mail carrier. She runs the routes. And what she did was she threw some of those taters in the back of her car, and she went to people that she knew either could not because they were handicapped and limited in their transportation, or would not because of pride, come and get the food. So she took it to them. So as we started the second round, she got the people at the post office as they were riding the route to make note of the folks that they felt like could benefit from this. And they made deliveries. I think they delivered to well over 20 people. So, it was like, we've got this little blessing here that we brought this truck in, and we've got this food, and it's just sort of reached out and expanded to the whole community. And lots of times people come up and say, well, what can I do to give back? And it's like, just go and do for someone else. Don't worry about giving back to us. Go and do as you are able for somebody else. Like Christ calls us to he shared with us, and we're to share with others. When I think of feeding of people, I see the feeding of the 5,000, where you've got what little we've got, we gave, and it seems to have multiplied itself just many times over, in that it has touched the lives of so many people. We've got United Methodist Men has just started back up in the last year. And that's been a blessing. Our men have started to come back together, and they tend to do different construction type projects, or like the food pantry, the food bank. They've done those things. I can't tell you how many handicap ramps they've built recently for people to get in and out of their houses. But that's a blessing. The United Methodist Women have been active and strong in this church for a long time. As we came in the back door, if you looked at the end of the fellowship hall, we've got yard sale items coming up. They do the yard sale, they've done different dinners. They have taken on as part of their project praying and honoring the teachers over here at the school, and most of the time they do the backpack pals. There's just lots of things that they get involved in as things surface. We try to make sure that the needs of the community are covered through either the Methodist men or the Methodist women. So I think that addressing the needs of those in poverty is something that's really near and dear to this church's heart. And I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason, the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again.